So back in early 1999, I was getting ready to go to college. I had yet to decide on where I was going to go, but I had a few places in mind. So when I asked my parents on how I should decide, they said something that would change my life forever. They said, well, we'll go visit them and see which one is the best match for you. Now, it's not like I wasn't familiar with the concept of trying things out first, but I think this was a milestone in that my Asian parents were allowing me to have some sort of input on some major decision in my life. And looking back, I think my parents have always kind of echoed the same advice when it comes to food and relationships and traveling and culture. They've always kind of told me not to immediately set down on one idea, but instead go out and try a lot of things and make a decision based on that. So I think that has bled into my idol fandom as well. I'm not going to say early on in my idol career, when I was just getting into Morning Musume, I didn't have a favorite member. I've always had favorite members, but I don't think I've ever gone all in on a single member and designated her as my Oshimen. I've been close a few times, but never actually committed. So why do I bring this up? Well, because I think the Oshimen system is very outdated and also kind of misguided. When most of us got into idols, we were told about Oshimens. Oshimen this or Oshimen that. Don't cheat on your Oshimen. We treat it like a relationship because that's kind of what makes sense. During my time as an AKB fan, I always heard, oh, you don't pick your Oshimen picks you. As if it was some sort of religious commandment. And it's cute, but if you think about it, it basically boils down to love at first sight. So it would be like you saying, oh, I love this person and I'm gonna marry her after seeing her once. Which doesn't make sense to me. And you could argue that these people weren't being serious, that they were just joking. But these are also the people who are buying like 80 handshake tickets and buying every photo album and then calling you a traitor for going and getting a handshake with somebody else. So then it boils down to how serious you take idols. Some people a little too much, especially provided their ability to consistently see idols. So that's kind of the misguided side to my argument. And for the outdated side, I would say that fans have relied on this system and blindly followed it, either because that's how it is or they saw Japanese people doing it. And it leads fans to take idols way too seriously. I think it's okay to be passionate and put yourself into something, but some people get really obsessive and they're not able to step back and look at the big picture. And I think some of that has to do with how the Oshimen system is set up. And how companies want you to get tied down to one girl because they want you to spend money on her. It also breeds competition between groups, within groups, and among fans. And so it causes this feeding frenzy of wanting to outdo each other, which in turn causes you to spend more money. The AKB election is coming up in a week. But do you know who the winner is every year? It's not Sashihara Rino. It's not Watanabe Mayu. It's the more CDs AKS sells because of this competition. And it's all good as long as you don't take it too seriously. And I think by being a DD, there's natural limiters from all this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, take your time with picking an Oshimen. There's no rush, and there's definitely no obligation. You should pick someone that you know well and matches you. I'm telling you guys the same thing my parents told me. Before deciding that hamburgers is your favorite food, why don't you go out there and try pizza and pasta and hot dogs and sushi and all that good stuff. And if one of them truly is the best, then by all means, I support your decision wholeheartedly. This has been the DLJ Experience. We'll see you next time.